Fans of the Horus Heresy, Warhammer 40,000, resin miniatures, and making your vehicles look really cool. Thank you very much for joining me for a samples review. And let's have a look at the samples. Here we go, we have a box, and as we can see, we have Polska. So this has come from Poland, and that can only mean one thing. We have another set of Spellcrow miniatures samples to review. So, very exciting stuff. So those nice people at the Spellcrow approached me again and asked if I would like some samples of their miniature range to review again. And this time, these are their vehicle accessories. Now, this is a bit of a surprise package. I don't know what's in it other than vehicle parts. So we're going to open it up and see what these are about. As I say, these are some samples that have been sent for me by Free. I'm going to give you an honest and unbiased opinion on these. If they're good, I'm going to say they're good. If there's any bad points, I'm going to draw your attention to them. But please do bear that in mind when assessing the opinions I offer in this video. Right, well, first challenge is, of course, the box. Now, having done this 3 times, I'm quite a professional at it now. And we won't have any embarrassing repeats of the first sample review where I had to fight my way into the box. As you can see in the background, things are quite festive here at Leakycheese Towers. The various advent calendars are progressing nicely. Chocolate is being eaten, little Lego Star Wars models are being built, and the cheeselets are all very happy, of course. All right, there we go. So I got a bit of bubble wrap. Gosh, right, so we have got a lot of parts to review here. There's all sorts. I'll tell you what, without any particular fear or favour, let's just dive in. Now, was ist das? Oh, I know what this is, right. So this is a rather neat little conversion kit. If you happen to own a certain variant of a plastic knight kit, which was released in the early days, and you would like said knight to have a rotary Gatling cannon, this is a great way to do it, because obviously you don't get one in the kit. And you got a set of barrels, which are going to go together with these wheels, or well, not wheels, barrel supports, and it's all going to click together, and then you get a Gatling cannon, a 6-barreled rotary cannon, and I think this is some sort of gubbins that goes with it. Is that supposed to be a plasma gun or something, or a flamer? So that's rather neat. Let's have a quick look at the parts. A little bit of filling to do there, a little bit of sanding maybe, not sure which will work best. Probably fill it just to hide that seam. That all looks very good. I'm glad they sent that one, because I think this is a really cool idea for a conversion kit, this. And if you've got one of the basic Imperial Knight models, it's a great way of giving yourself that additional weapon option. And particularly the Gatling blasters, is it Gatling blaster or Gatling cannon? I just forget, but it is a really cool weapon in game. So that's a neat little thing. Right, then we've got lots and lots of doors. So doors are quite topical at the moment, and it's always nice to have some more options. Now, these are doors for a Land Series battle tank, or perhaps a Cerberus tank destroyer, or Typhon tank destroyer. Quite nice and chunky looking. It's got a rung of ladders going up it, and a very gothic like radiator grille perhaps. Ace. So I guess with those you can just add a bit of variety to what are otherwise fairly samey Land Raiders. There are a load of specific Legion doors perhaps in here, or for certain Space Knights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those out of the pack and put them to one side, and then we'll look at those as one group. To start with, I want to try look at the actual weapons and general parts. Oh, okay, well, talking about general parts. Oh, surprise piece of terrain. I like that. So if we've got the remains of an arch of some Gothic type building. Looks really good, that. Very authentic, and even the arch is broken at the top. Well, it's not really an arch, it's a window frame, isn't it? That's what it looks like it is. Oh, brilliant. That was a nice surprise. That looks really good. So just imagine if you were creating some battles from, say, Istvan. Bits like this will be perfect for creating urban terrain. And another piece as well. So these are going to go together rather neatly. And this one's got this large circular column to go with it. That's awesome, that is. And it all looks very nice to cast, yeah. Really nicely turned out. I wonder if this is supposed to go... Yeah, I think that could happen, couldn't it? Yeah, because that's got a slightly circular notch in it there. So that does go really rather well there. And you can imagine all sorts of 28mm infantry using this as a bit of desperate cover. I like that, I really like that, I think it looks great. So, what do we have next? Ooh, okay. So this looks like some sort of turret apparatus. So this is a weapon housing, and here we have a targeting system, or perhaps some sort of cogitator array. And then we also have a selection of 2 different weapon types to mount in it. We might imagine these are some sort of ionic or plasma rifle, and those are going to sit in that recess there. And then here we have some fusion or heat cannons or heat guns, which is our other option. It's like a micro turret or a mini turret for an infantry fighting vehicle with a pair of weapons mounted in it. Maybe that might be a multiple fusion gun. Yeah, a multi-melter perhaps. And then here, what's this here? So this looks like a turret, yeah. Oh yeah, so that's going to go in a cupola. And that's going to go like that. That looks really nice, all very nice to cast. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put these together, and in another video which will follow this, I'm going to actually show some of these parts on, for example, vehicles from the Horus Heresy and Warhammer 40,000 ranges, just to give you an idea of how they actually go together and actually look. And we can also ask the question then, do they fit nicely with the styling of Imperial vehicles from 40k? And perhaps we can also think about other miniatures which they might accessorize well to. But yeah, I like that. And a really useful weapon, because if you think about Razorbacks, you can't just buy Razorback kits, can you? Unless you buy them from Forge World, you can't buy them from Games Workshop. So to be able to get a little kit like that is great. So here we've got a second example of the Gatling Blaster. I think is exactly the same as the first. The other great thing about a kit like this is it allows you to take, say, one of the Mechanicum Knights that Forge World have made. So let's say the Megaera or Styx, and if you wanted to arm it up for 40k play, you could give it a Gatling Blaster as opposed to its Heresy era weapon. Possibly some magnetisation options here as well. Okay, so I've got 2 of those. Wow. That's a lot of DACA, that. Can you actually give a knight 2 Gatling Blasters? I'm not sure if you can. If you could though, that would be awesome. So that's all unpacked. Let's start with something that I'm not sure what these are. Yeah. Kind of plates, aren't they? I'll add an annotation to the video in post-production to identify what these are. They're kind of, I don't know, look quite studly, don't they? Designed to sit over something. I'm trying to figure out if they're perhaps a bit wolf knighty. Like if you're in space and there's some warrior knights that like to be wolfy, or if there's something perhaps a little bit more chaotic. Nice, well, intriguing. Nicely cast though, which is always very good. Right, let's start with some non-generic parts. And here we have a front armoured plate for an RH40K vehicle. So yeah, so this is designed for the Imperial Rhino, I believe. That's going to sit on the front plate. Great for getting a different sort of look. This is rather neat. I mean, it's got this neat recessed vision slit with a camera of some sort, and it looks like the armour's being built up in layers, so perhaps this is like an add-on armour package or module type thinking and design behind that one. I do like that. And there we have some headlights as well to go with it. Again, they've got like armoured grills over the headlights, or perhaps there's some sort of LED device, who knows, in the far, far future how it might work. Very good, nicely cast. And then I think this is the same again. Let's have a look. Have we got a pair of these? I think we have got a pair of these. Yeah, we do, yeah, same again. Great design. You could use these for all sorts, couldn't you? I've got a little project that I've got planned that I might have a use for these for, but it's a secret at the moment. Now, talking about non-generic parts, here's a thought. Here's a little design idea for those handy chaps and chapettes at Spellcrow Miniatures. One thing that you can't get hold of at the moment, but would be really, really cool if you could, are smoke dispensers. So smoke canister launchers for futuristic armoured fighting vehicles. At the moment, these are really hard to get hold of. They only come in a couple of kits. So for example, like the Baneblade or the Land Raider or the Rhino. They would make a really, really good accessory set, because if you buy tanks like anything from a Horus Heresy, so let's think about them, Sicarans, Laser Vindicators, Standard Vindicators, any of the Legion Super Heavy tanks, so Fellblades, Glaives and Falchions. On the Fellblade and the Glaive, you've got some great opportunity to do some banks to mount on the side of a rounded horseshoe turret. And now you've got the Astreus as well. That would be a really good idea, or something I would really, really like to see from Spellcrow Miniatures, a set of general purpose smoke dispensers to go on 28mm far futuristic vehicles. That'd be great, guys, if you could. Right, let's get back to the doors. So let's see what happens if you add some louvres to your armoured vehicle. Perhaps if you had a very devotional vehicle, had a vehicle of great devotion, these doors would be good. Sisters going into battle, perhaps. The Inquisition. Yeah, lots of options. And as well as the doors, we've also got a front plate carrying the same design as well, and a set of headlights. There you go, Neo-Gothic Extreme. So let's continue on. Now those of you who've seen my earlier Spellcrow sample review videos will remember fondly the Reptile amphibians, and I'm delighted to show off some more Reptile amphibian components. Here we have Reptile amphibian style add-on armor plates for a RH1N0 armored fighting vehicle. Flame fantastic, some very artistic depictions of Reptile amphibians above the flames. And then on the same vehicle, an upper mount door. Ooh, wait a minute. This isn't Reptile amphibian. Some minor heresy occurred there. I'm not sure what this is. Ooh, eyes. Ooh, maybe maybe the eye of the War Master. I think there's some more heretical eye plates. Let's just see if we can find those and look at those guys next. Oh, there were, then I lost them. Heretical eye plates, heretical eye plates. Heresy, come get your heresy. You need some heresy. Heresy for sale here. Oh, here we go, here we go. There you go. There you go, you see. These are quite heretical. So perhaps, yes, perhaps the Sons of Horus, yes, after being corrupted by chaos, but before they became the Black Legion, these are the sort of doors that you might put on your rhinos. So no review of some Spellcrow accessories will be complete without something absolutely plague-ridden. And let's now look at some Plague Knight parts for their vehicles. So got quite a lot of these. Plague Knights always seem to do quite well for some reason. Yeah, that's pretty repulsive, isn't it? Repugnapulsive. There's eyes, tentacles, maggots, slime, and general filth caking these doors for a rhino-sized vehicle. Heavily corrupted. And then we have some top doors, also bubbling with corruption. Lovely. I'm going to get confused here. There we go. They're going over there. The pestilence continues with a front plate, and not only have we got a plague demon sludgy nasty thing that's manifested itself here, but we have the most novel definition of a headlight in the history of vehicle navigation. Splendid. These are all very nicely cast, all look very good so far. So one thing, these are tough old bags, these. Right, okay, and now we've got a variant, I think, on the pestilent side doors. I mean, oh gosh, yeah, the detail on those, fantastic. It's like a demonic, horrific anemone that's grown out of the side of a tank. Deliciously disgusting. And then we have something else that's probably going to be deliciously disgusting, which is a rhino top plate. Crew beware, this vehicle may eat you. We're not quite done yet with Plague Knights, and Spellcrow haven't neglected their larger armoured vehicles, and here we have a little nest of mini demons in this gaping maw of pestilence. Oh bless, micro plague demon just popping out of this little Louvre. So I think that's everything in the disgusting department. Now let's stick with the dank and the damned and look at these doors. These are like the doors of madness with demons growing out of them. So clearly a possessed vehicle. I feel like that's what might happen if you do the Gal Vorbak equivalent on a rhino, yeah, or a Vindicator. So we're getting increasingly heretical at the moment. I think these parts are still in the Heresy department, so we'll have a look at them. And these are additional armour plates with many, many skulls. Now, we could debate as to whether or not these are heretical or not. Certainly, I'd imagine a legion such as a Word Bearers might have something like this adorning their vehicles, but perhaps the Legion of the Damned may also sport such livery. And let's stick skulls. So another interesting variation on the concept of a headlight. And yes, the skulls of the dead and the damned. Ooh, some purity seals. Perhaps this is something that maybe the Inquisition may use, or even the Mechanicum, or the Adeptus Mechanicus. And clearly here we have some religious intonation with these beautiful pictorial letters. So yeah, that's a nice touch, very nice touch on the part of the sculptor. If you saw a vehicle with that front plate coming towards you, you would certainly feel damned. And there's a second one, yeah. Those are quite versatile, quite interesting those. You could use those for Legion of the Damned or a variety of chaos applications. We've got something in this bag which feels a little bit heretical. Oh yeah, there's fire. No, wait, oh, no, right, just belay that thought on heresy. I actually think we have some repto amphibian gear here again. Gosh, I better watch out. I don't want to be accusing the repto amphibians of heresy. So here we have a highly ornate upper plate for an RH1N0 armoured transporter of the repto amphibian Space Knight Force. Very good, do like that. More damned skulls coming up now. I thought that was a chaotic goat before, but it wasn't. Skulls and purity seals. It must be the Legion of the Damned again. These are great. Everything's very nicely cast. You need to check the fit of these on some vehicles, see if they fit okay. Sometimes the forgeable ones are a little bit tricky to fit. These will be amazing when they're painted up. And the fact that they've done bas relief on these seals, you know, it means you can really get a great effect with a relatively small amount of effort on painting. Without this relief, you'd have to paint this on if you wanted it to look like it had lots of writing on it. But here, just a doing some washes, you can bring out the detail. The next couple of bits are perhaps what happens if one goes crusading and really likes to go crusading in the far future, and also has a penchant for copying medieval knightly orders such as the Templars. What colour this will be in? Black perhaps. Lots of purity seals, little banners, skulls, scrolls. Absolutely action-packed with detail, that is. Can something be action-packed with detail? Not sure if it can. It's packed with detail. And then we have a top hatch as well for the same group of dark Templars, dark Crusaders. Perhaps we could call them the Sable Crusaders. Yeah, Sable Crusaders, that's quite authentic, isn't it? A couple more of these beautifully crafted scrolls and a little quadrant shield as well, bearing a little bit of relief heraldry. Right, now it's time for Wolves in Space. So first with Wolves in Space are some bolt-on armour components for an RH1N0 armoured fighting vehicle and its variants. And there is an array of Nordically inspired runes, furs, which means it's peta time, and amulets and a skull, and some gems as well. Yeah, very good. Then have two doors for the Rhino. Handy strap-on bones there, useful just in case Fidos turn up. And yes, you know what I mean, Wolves in Space players. Yes, you know exactly what I mean. The sort of things that you keep underneath Castle Fenris and you don't let the Inquisition see. And beautifully crafted top plate. And just look at the wolf styling on that. So that's a very bold and striking design. And of course this will go together and it'll all go nicely. Yeah, a little bit of cleanup to do there. Very good. Very good indeed. Just to finish on and talking about things hidden away from the eyes of the Inquisition by the Wolves in Space chapter. This is what happens when some of those wolves get out and want to get in. Beware of the Wolves in Space, were Marines. And that is everything that I've been sent from the Spellcrow sample pack there. So yeah, a lot of stuff. Wow. I hope you've enjoyed that tour around them. I'll leave some links in the description to the product page. I'll just generally link through to the section of their catalogue which has the various components in. Dozens and dozens of links here. I don't want to just baffle you. But the website's very easy to navigate, so I'll just leave that. I will come back and do some follow-up work on these. In particular, this turret, which I think is fantastic. I'm going to be demonstrating that on a couple of Imperial vehicles, such as a Rhino and some Land Raider variants. And then I'm also going to assemble one of these rotary cannons and see how they go together. So it looks a fairly complex kit. I've seen these on the website and they look really good when they're assembled, but of course I'd like to try build them as well. I do hope you've enjoyed watching that unboxing review. I'd once again like to thank Spellcrow for sending me these samples through for review. Please share your thoughts and comments. Make sure if you'd like Spellcrow to do some futuristic smoke dispenser launchers for general use on futuristic tanks, make sure you mention it in the comments because I think that would be absolutely ace. But other than that, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. I'll speak to you next time and goodbye.